video resolution is not normal. See if we can fix that. I'm muted. Oops. Jesus Christ. It's been a long week. Got the child to bed. Just barely able to make it through things. Whoa. All right. Okay, there we go. I've had this once before and it was pouring clear, and then all of a sudden, just like a hazy IPA, it just like got chunky as we got to the end. So starting off with this Stem Ciders Paloma. This is their Paloma. I think that's a grapefruit cocktail if I remember right. This has grapefruit, lime, agave, spices. Pretty darn tasty. I can't say. Sorry about the audio. It's been a long day. I hit mute somewhere and then it was like, holy crap. I don't even remember where I hit mute or why I hit mute in the first place. So yeah, so this Paloma cider to start things off. I figured, a nice cider to kick things off because I got a bunch of weird beers here. So I'm not going to finish the cider. I'm going to try to, just drink it, cleanse the palate a little bit, and then go into some of these fun ones. So we've got, this one's been sitting in the fridge for a long time. French's mustard beer. So we'll see how that tastes. It's just a tropical wheat ale, tropical wheat beer. We've got some Weldworks Higher Consciousness. This one is a great one for the just the color it is. I think it's like pretty much a bright blue. And then we have this one, which is going to be a little like crazy. It's Evil Twin and Weldworks Fruity Stay Home Kiwi Banana Lime with Marshmallow. And then to cap everything off, I'm going to finish with this little mini can from Resolute Brewing up in Denver. This is Above the Laws. It's a Imperial Porter aged in Laws bourbon barrels for 10 months. So, little nice small can to finish things off. So, should be tasty. Good connection, but I don't see it. Whatever. We'll just keep going. Everything will catch up. So, all right. That Paloma is super duper tasty. If you like ciders, definitely check out Stem Ciders. They're out of Denver, but they've got some great stuff. And that Paloma, man, it's just super tasty. So, let's see. I guess I'm going to kick off things with the mustard beer and whatnot. Let's see. I think I cleaned my glass this time. It's not going to be a total dirty piece of junk. So, let me know if it looks like the chat might be totally frozen At least my version is. Pop in. Stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Oh, really? Alrighty. I think we're good. My stream was just messed up, so we'll just go with it. So this is a tropical wheat beer brewed with French's mustard and other natural flavors. So we'll see how it tastes. I don't know. It's got a, for something that's brewed with yellow mustard. I guess it's yellowy in color. I'll switch over so we can actually show that color. Yep, the glass, I tried to clean it and I still have bubbles. Sorry about that. I'll give you this to look at. This nice, beautiful thing right here. Get that in a good spot. Alright, so it's a tropical wheat beer brewed with French's mustard and other natural flavors. It just really smells tart. I mean, I'm a mustard fan. I don't really smell or taste any mustard or smell any mustard. It's weird. It's sort of like a one-note smell. Like sometimes you get like a nice sort of, complexity on the nose, and this one is, it just smells tart, but almost like sweet tarts, just like flat, sugary tart smell. Yeah, it's a beer. Yeah, that one's sort of disappointed. Like, they hyped this thing up as a mustard beer, and it's not really that good. This was a big one. They came out, I think, last year. French's, it was only available at Oscar Blues' spot, and it sold really quickly. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad beer. It's just nothing like, you see this can French's mustard beer and you think, oh man, this is going to be either something totally weird where it's going to pour and look just like mustard, or it's going to be just a normal beer, and it's sort of just a normal beer. Sort of disappointed. It's good. It just is missing. It's missing something. So, not a big fan of it. Oh. We're going to bump up our video bitrate because they want it to be higher for YouTube. So try that. Let's see if that fixes things and helps things out a little bit. But yeah, mustard beer, man, if I was going to give this a rating out of 10, I would say, if you're going to tell me this is just a tropical sour wheat ale and not call it mustard beer, I'd give it something pretty high. I mean, it's tasty. It's got a good flavor. It's got good body to it. But, man, as soon as you call it a mustard beer, I mean, it doesn't have any of that sort of like salinity and acidity that I expect out of mustard. Doesn't have any flavor of mustard whatsoever, which is sort of a bummer, but yeah, there it is, mustard beer. I should have a dump bucket because I'm not going to drink the rest of that. So let's we'll just dump the rest of it into this nice jar right here. And when we get to the end, we can do a little beer and loathing work and maybe do a little suicide action on that. So, let's go with one that I know I am going to like. Higher Consciousness from WeldWorks Brewing. This is WeldWorks and 8th State Brewing Company. This one is amazing. So, little story about this. I got some samples from WeldWorks the other day, and let's get better camera angle. There we are. They gave me some cans, and I gave my wife one of these cans, and she cracked it open. Was drinking it, pretty much drank 2/3 of the beer, and realized at the end that it was a weird colored beer. So let's move this mustard beer out of the way. Let's move some stuff away so you can see the color of this thing as it comes out. This is pretty darn ridiculous. I still have some mustard beer in there. This is not totally sanitary, but we're just going to do it. Folks, beer is not supposed to be this color. But WeldWorks and the 8th State Brewing Company did not put like just blue food coloring in it. They used blue spirulina, so I guess you could call it all natural. But man, it almost looks like toothpaste, the foam there. And then this is just this brilliant blue, hazy blue. I mean, it's pretty solid. And so you can see it there in the photo there. I'm going to move the can there so you check out the can art. WeldWorks has some pretty crazy, awesome can art these days. But blue beer. We'll see how it tastes. I know how it tastes. It tastes great. It's actually really refreshing after that sort of one note sour from the mustard beer. So this one is a sour wheat ale brewed with juniper needles and berries, passion fruit, grapefruit, and lemon, and then it's got that blue spirulina to make it this this wonderful blue concoction. Definitely, if you see this in the store and you have a chance to get some of this beer from WeldWorks, grab it just for the sort of shock factor of the color, because it's pretty darn amazing. But yeah, it's not one of those ones where you notice that it's a different color based on the taste. WeldWorks just makes crazy awesome beer, so I think we're a little spoiled here in Colorado, having just such access to their brewery, and then hopefully soon here in Colorado Springs we'll have tons of access with their second location opening up here. Hopefully this year, we'll see. They were sort of set back by COVID and building rules and all this other crap, so it'll always take them a little bit of time, but we look forward to having them here in the Springs, and it'll be nice to have some sort of fun, special one-off things for Colorado Springs only, which they've sort of hinted at doing. So, that was going to be a weird one to add to the thing. I guess I should be checking these in on the Untapped. Clear the palate with some more Paloma. Yeah, that's just good. That's just tasty. But yeah, I feel like sour wheat ales have been like the big thing that a lot of breweries have been doing. WeldWorks is doing a ton of them. I feel like every time I go to the store, I see a different version of a sour wheat ale. I know they did their sour rotator series for WeldWorks. I'm looking up the name of it. It was the I am a Colin Jones and I am a Neil Fisher. Uh, really cool because you're supposed to blend them together. You're supposed to mix them. So really sort of a fun thing. I am a Colin Jones has apricot nectarine and cinnamon in it, and then I am a Neil Fisher. I forget what. I can't even talk. Forget what that one is. They're in the fridge. I should have just pulled them out. That one's blueberry, raspberry, and vanilla. So if you mix them together, you get all these fruits and vanilla and cinnamon. And that's sort of the idea. What they wanted to do with it is that you're supposed to blend them. You're supposed to taste them together, and see what it actually tastes like. But yeah, there's a lot of people doing sour wheat ales these days. I mean, sours, for the amount of IPAs that are out there, sours are second or even probably just about the same amount out there, in my opinion. But yeah, that one's pretty good. All right, I guess we got to add that to the batch. There's the mustard beer. That thing's gonna probably ruin everything. So let's give it a weird colored one at the end here. So there's where we're at right now. That blue spirulina really knocked it up a notch or two. I feel like I should rinse with some mustard beer just to get some of that blue out of there. Yeah, it was pretty good. Actually, the mix of those two. Now that was good. It adds a little bit more complexity to the mustard beer, which is that sort of single note sour. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. All right, we're finishing off with the Imperial Porter. That's a good one to just finish the day with, or the night with. I guess we've only been on for 15 minutes. I gotta slow down my drinking. What the heck is going on in the beer world these days? Let's look at the book face. No, we're not going to do that. I have 3 viewers. Yes! All right, so I guess we'll keep going with this blue one. I feel like it's bad, but it's so good. Cheers to this one. Oh, right. Has Anheuser-Busch bought anybody recently? I don't know if they have. Feels like there's been a lull. Oh, no viewers. All right. Alrighty. So, since that one's so good, I don't feel bad adding a bunch to the thing. Again, we'll do a rinse of some mustard beer. Again, if you see this and you find a can of this somewhere, it's not that bad. It's just not mustard beer. I mean, you tell me mustard beer, you tell me it's been brewed with French's mustard. I'm going to expect some flavor of French's mustard in there, and there isn't any. Like, this is the epitome of clickbait in a beer. I said it. There it is. I feel like that's what a lot of the big breweries are doing these days. You know, you've got these places like Weldworks, Wiley Roots, Evil Twin. Those are the ones off the top of my head. But Omnipolo putting cheeseburgers in beer. Like they're not afraid to put crap in beer that maybe doesn't really go in beer usually. But they're also not afraid to make it taste like that at the same time. Like, I think last week we drank the pizza beer from Martin House, which it tastes like frickin' pizza. Like, if you're going to call this thing a frickin' mustard beer, come on. I'm actually sort of pissed off about that. Like, come on, Oscar Blues. Like, you guys have a name for, like, making really good beer. And you put out a beer called mustard beer. And I'm really frickin' disappointed. About to make this show go... little PG-13 here with some curse words, but I'm not going to do that. All right, so next up, this is the Fruity Stay Home from Evil Twin and Weldworks. This is another sour wheat ale. Tons of sour wheat ales, but this is brewed with thousands of pounds of kiwi, banana, and lime puree, plus marshmallow. 6.66% alcohol by volume, so those of you on the devil radar, holy crap, that one exploded. Got that on the monitor. Let's take a look at this thing. Oh yeah, let's. Gotta switch over to our better view so people can see what this color is. We can practice our horrible pouring. That's pouring nicely. Man, that is just chunky. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this thing is like, it's pouring like banana puree. Oh my goodness. It has got weird chunkiness. I should have rolled this thing around. I don't know if you can see that in there. But it is... Yeah, you can sort of see the chunkiness, but it is... Ugh. I don't know. This is not very appetizing as a beer. That's for certain. It's sort of like the color of dough. Like if you're making banana bread, it's that color. But it's weird. It's not consistent in the shape. Let's see if this camera can do a better job. You can sort of see the chunkiness in there. Yeah, that's not a reflection on the glass. That's just chunk in there. So we'll drink this and we'll pour some more out and we'll see how horrible it is. All right. Thickness wise, that's like half thawed Jamba Juice. It is thick. It just like coats your mouth. It's tasty. All right, like I was talking about, like mustard beer doesn't taste like mustard. Sour beer with kiwi, banana. Oh, sorry, we'll do that. With kiwi, banana, lime, and marshmallow, basically is like drinking frickin' marshmallow. Let's fix this guy up. See if we can get a camera to actually focus on it. There we are. Yeah, this thing is thick. I think a fork would be a little bit too... But this is definitely a, this would be a great beer to be a boba beer, actually. Just because of the thickness of it. You could have that boba straw. Wow. I was worried with the banana that it was going to taste too, like, Hefeweizen sludge. But it is surprisingly more kiwi and lime than banana. It definitely doesn't look like beer. I feel like I've seen some hazy IPAs that look this color, but it is sort of an off-putting grayish yellow color. Again, I sort of wish that mustard beer was this color and this level of flavor, because all right, I can't finish the rest of that glass. Well, I should. Yeah, that's too good. Man, the lime really comes through. Like, it's got some nice tartness for the beer, but also like it's got that really nice citrusy lime flavor to it. Not getting a whole lot of marshmallow. I'm sort of expecting the marshmallow to be just sort of a sweetness, but I feel like the lime and the kiwi sort of overtake any sweetness that would happen from the banana and the marshmallow. It's there. It's there, but it's sort of that middle palate flavor. So you get the sweetness up front, you get the sour in the back, and this sort of like mellow, creamy, that sort of pillowy marshmallow flavor. It's sort of in the middle, and it just is. It sort of gets lost a little bit. Not bad. I mean, that's freaking tasty. I'm scared to pour. Like, it's weird. Like, I go to pour it, and your muscle memory for pouring a beer expects like it to come out faster at a certain point, and it just feels like there's this like weight in the bottom of the can, and not beer weight, more like a Jello weight hanging in there. So, it's like someone spit in your beer. It's this like phlegmy color. But it's also, there's like a stratification between like the non-puree stuff and the puree stuff. So you see this difference in everything, and I don't know, maybe just gotta swirl it, gotta make it better that way. That's certainly a different one. And they've had a couple ones that are like Fruit Camp and other ones from WeldWorks. I don't remember them being this sour though. This one's got a good sour, and I hate to use the word backbone because everyone's like, oh, everything needs a malt backbone. It's like one of the most overused words in the brewing industry and the beer description industry. But it does. It's got a really good solid sour that sort of props up all the other flavors. And I think that's coming from that lime puree, because the citrus really sort of cuts through everything. But it's not overly. I was worried that it was just going to taste like just sugar, and while it is nowhere near just like what a beer would taste like, it is it's tart enough to where you say, oh, it's a sour wheat ale, and I'm like, okay, it's a sour wheat ale. Sounds pretty good. All right, I gotta try to pour the rest of this into this glass just to see how horrible it is. I feel like, do I have another glass in here? I do. I'm gonna have to use a different glass for the Cellar Series, or I'll probably just drink that out of the can. But yeah, that's not even. That is so thick. Like, it moves around like. That's so thick. All right, that's gonna be the bit. That's gonna be the bit that gets added to our suicide batch. Is the phlegmy bottom bit. That is the chunky bit. So let's see. All right, I gotta hold this up so you can see it make that sort of depth charge. You ready? Here it goes. Oh, that's like a science experiment there. It lightened the flavor a little bit. We got a little bit of coagulation, but Man, all right. I'm going to have to... I don't know how I'm going to rinse that glass. I need to plan ahead with more glasses. I brought one glass out for 4 beers, and 3 of them were sours, which was great. One of them's a Paloma, which I brought its own glass. It's got a special Stem Ciders Paloma glass. But we did not plan ahead for the Imperial Porter that will finish things off here. So, let's clean the glass with the cider. Good enough, right? All right. So this last one, this is one of the coolest cans I've seen in a long time. Little 8-ounce can. Brewers, if you were looking for a cool way to put out some big beers that maybe, you know, you might have done in a 750 for aging and for, you know, longer, sort of make it special type thing. I think these 8-ounce cans sort of do the same thing. Like they're small. They're pretty much it's a square. But this is from Resolute Brewing. They are some good group of guys up in Denver. Up in Denver. Yep, I'm just stuttering my way through it. Thanks to all those sour beers. Jeez, I'm gonna have heartburn tonight. No, it's not that bad. So this one is a Cellar Series Above the Laws. Our Cellar Series beers have been barrel-aged, barrel-fermented, or in other cases a bit of both. We've taken the time to age them appropriately before their release, so please feel free to enjoy them now. Justin Burns, head brewer at Resolute. And it's cool. Like, it actually has his signature at the bottom. Let me see if I can... Let's see. Let's switch over to show you. See if we can show you. Yeah, so we got a little signature at the bottom. Nice signal there. Cool little... I mean, this can is pretty darn cool. It's got, like, the rings of a tree is what it sort of looks like. So it's that, you know... They're really sort of playing up the wood look there. So we are going to... Oh, this is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I'm just not looking forward to the taste at the end. But this, I heard... Gosh. I need to get a towel. All right. So... All right. Somehow my scene's just totally messed up. So we're just going to do this. We're going to pop this guy over here like this. Boom. All right. So let's get a little color there. We got to look at the color on this guy. He's a beautiful... I mean, Imperial Porter. So we got this nice sort of ruby garnet accent to a nice dark color. I'm holding it way above the camera. I'm sorry. That was horrible. But you can see sort of some wisps of some ruby garnet in the edges there. This beer is pretty fantastic, actually. Let's get that guy into view. It's got that sort of syrupy yumminess that you get from a barrel-aged beer. You know, some people will say, oh, yeah, we made this barrel-aged stout or barrel-aged porter, and it touches a barrel for 3 months, 4 months. But also I feel like it's like a fad thing. So they're like, oh, everyone else is putting beer in a barrel. We're going to throw this coffee porter in a barrel, and the beer itself is thin. It's already been fermented out. It's not really ready to sort of hold up to the barrel character, and it doesn't turn out very good. And this one is the opposite. It's 11% alcohol. You can tell that they were ready for that sort of barrel character to play a good part in how the beer ends up. The aroma's got this sort of vanillin, bourbony, chocolatey, just sort of amazingness. Like, it's what when you see bourbon barrels, whatever, on the shelf, this is the flavor and the smell that you're expecting and wanting. Like, it is what you want. Holy crap, it's so good. So, hands up to these guys. I mean, these are the guys that we usually party with at the Big Beers, Belgians, and Barley Wines Festival in Breckenridge. And they make killer beer. If you ever get a chance to get up to their spot in Denver, they've got 2 spots. One of them's right by IKEA, which is part of when we go to them is when we go and do a shopping trip at IKEA. But this is pretty darn tasty. So I guess we have to, just for the sake of the show, we have to add a bit in there. That made that color definitely interesting. So there's our end up for the end of the night. I'm gonna sit here and sip on this one. It is pretty darn tasty. Yeah. Back on the rant. There's breweries that'll put beers in barrels that probably shouldn't go in the barrel. I remember at one point, I think it was at Big Beers, we learned that Goose Island, who's infamous for their Bourbon County stout, puts the beer in the barrels at like 10 Plato. So for home brewers, that's like a 1040. So, like, it's a sweet, it's not totally fermented by the time it goes into the barrel. And these breweries that are throwing a fully fermented, sort of bland beer into a barrel, hoping to make it better, it just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. But I'm here talking to one person on the internet, maybe 3, maybe 4. We'll find out. We will definitely give a taste to the final concoction that we have here. It is definitely an interesting one. But this one, we're going to finish this first. And we're going to finish talking about our rant. So yeah, if you're going to put a beer in a barrel, and I'm here talking as someone that has just had a lot of beer in my life. I have brewed a lot of homebrew. I've messed up a whole ton of homebrew. I have about 10 gallons of beer in the garage right now that is totally undrinkable. It is horrible. I will be the first one to tell you that I am not the best brewer in the world. So don't believe me when I say, oh yeah, brew your beer this way. I have opinions about beer. I've seen the way that it's been done well. But I am nowhere close to being an expert. And even if I had a, BJCP letters or Cicerone or whatever, you're always learning. There's always new things to learn. So I just wish people would put a little more care into the barrel side of things as they do with, hop selection and things like that. So I feel like sometimes barrel aging is a cure for laziness on the other end of the brewing side. So that's end rant. I will stop ranting. No need to rant anymore. This beer is fantastic. Resolute Crew, you guys are kicking butt. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Alrighty. So, cleanse the palate with this Paloma. And spill it all over my beard. That's the way it is. Alrighty. Yeah, so, comes down to this. To this guy. Oh, I thought about it at the beginning of the stream. Well, before I even jumped on, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a dump bucket, but it's going to be this suicide chug at the end. And now, staring down the barrel of this, it's a lot of liquid, and I'm not feeling like chugging it, but I will definitely take a drink out of it. Hopefully. The hope is that in the future, when we do future ones of these Friday nights, that we'll have not just me on, that we'll have multiple people on, and there'll be multiple people that could help take Friday nights, that we'll have not just me on, that we'll have multiple people on, and take down a behemoth like this. So, anyways, here's to the weekend. Cheers, everyone. That's not bad. Yeah, I might just sit here and drink the rest of that. That's pretty good. Oh, anyways, thanks for joining me. Everyone that came on and everyone that's watching. Hope you guys, either if you have a chance to check out some of these beers, definitely get a chance to try them out. I know for you, everyone in Colorado, I saw this one still on the shelf, so it is definitely still out there. The mustard beer sold out right away, but you're not missing much, so don't worry about that. And this Evil Twin one, I believe, was a brewery-only thing for WeldWorks, but keep your eyes on these guys. They are making just kick-ass stuff, and pretty much anything that they put out will knock your socks off. And then, yeah, I'm just going to finish up with sipping off the can of this Resolute Cellar Series. So, you guys have a wonderful evening. Cheers. Yep. There we are. 4 beers in 40 minutes. That's what, 10 minutes? Yep. The beer. Yeah. I didn't drink them all because look at this thing. That's gross. That is gross. Yeah, it's not going to definitely not going to go down great. So, anyways, oh hey, I wanted to give a shout out. If you guys want to check out a cool channel on YouTube, Hop Your Days. I'll throw a link down. I'll throw a link in the chat for you to check it out. But they are one of the coolest beer review channels on YouTube. Let me throw a link in the chat. Yeah. Great content. Sam over at Hop Your Days is infinitely funnier than I am, and I can only wish to be as influencing and funny and just entertaining as they are. So have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week.